Welcome to your Monday mood for the week of August 24th through August 30th. My birthday is next Monday, so you're not going to get a Monday mood on next Monday. 8:31. It's Virgo season. We entered Virgo season late on Saturday night around 10:30 p.m. And so, yeah, welcome. Hi, happy birthday, Virgos. Virgo energy is mutable energy. It's the mutable earth sign. So, mutable signs help us adapt to our new circumstances or to where we're trying to go, right? Because once we get to Libra season, that's cardinal energy, and now we're taking more directed action. So, we just got out of this fixed, fiery Leo with a solar eclipse. Woo! Kicked my ass. Okay, you guys have seen that. And now we're in this mutable Virgo earthy energy where we're trying to get a little restoration back to us. Okay, we're trying to get back into a place of just feeling more healthy, more grounded, more mentally balanced. Virgo is ruled by the planet Mercury. So it has a lot to do with how we process information, how we perceive the world. And it's just a very helpful season. It is where it's very harvesting, right? Things can come to we can have things kind of like this works, this doesn't work. It's very much so like that. It's like, is this efficient? Is it not? Like Virgo energy is very in that kind of vein of practicality. It's an emotionally caring, nurturing, loving energy, but in a very what makes sense kind of way. Mercurial. Like, does this make sense in the mind? If not, I'm not gonna do it. Right? And so you might find yourself being a little bit more analytical and just looking at things. Do they make sense? Instead of letting too much of that fire fuel our actions or our feelings, like the Leo was doing, right? Leo was like, I'm saying what I'm going to say. This is how it's feeling. We're going to take actions based off immediate, impulsive energy. And then Virgo's like, does that work though? Or do we need to refine it a bit and then approach it more like this? And then we get more of a balanced situation and we feel more in connection with our mind. And yeah, that's the energy for Virgo season, okay? With that being said, all that I just spoke about applies to the fact that Mercury is moving into Virgo tomorrow on the 25th. So we are all going to be experiencing more of an analytical, intelligent, practical approach to situations, to communication in our lives. Thank the Lord. We love Leo energy. It gives us passion. It gives us courage. It brings us bravery. It gives us fight. It brings our light out. But it also can be a lot. Trust me. I know. But Virgo's like, okay, we're going to mellow this down a bit so that we can make sense of what's going on, so that we can move forward in harmony. Libra season, okay? So that Mercury is going to help us cool the jets here in the mind. And then we still are in eclipse season. Whew. So we're going to have a partial lunar eclipse in Pisces, 27th/28th at the end of the week. So this is the last lunar eclipse that we're going to have in Pisces for the next, 18 years, 9 years, however long, right? It's going to be a long time. We're finishing up that transit. And so we're finishing up something that started in 2024 with this moon. And it has a lot to do with our feelings or our illusions around our feelings, or where we may have had to expand our sense of understanding our feelings with all this new information that came in, and also discerning, Virgo, what is still helpful and what is not. So this full moon should help us see, it illuminates where we emotionally have grown and what we have realized we still are wanting and what we're not wanting, what we're needing and what we don't need, and then also what feels genuinely healing, soothing to our souls, right? And leaning into that can help us feel more confident as we make choices and move forward in our lives. So that's what I feel like this lunar eclipse is doing. Yes, it's closing something up, but it's also shining the light on what feels good and what feels nurturing and what feels loving and what feels caring and what feels understanding and what feels like soothing. Because Pisces energy is a mutable water sign. So it's like, how can I make things better? What can I do? And it's like this. And this is what's going to help us move forward in more fixed energy with that Aquarius Leo node that we're now in. Because that fixed energy is going to keep things like where they're at. And the mutable was us trying to figure out where we're adjusting or what needed to be adjusted so that we can feel okay when things start to like anchor into our world long term. Cool? Cool. Let's do our tarot for the week. We're going to use the Earth Angel deck, of course, Virgo season. Once again, if anybody wants to send me any birthday gifts, I'm open and available. I'm not going to deny that. So just say August 31st. And I'll be back here. I may not do a Monday mood next week because I won't be back in town until later, but maybe I will. Who knows? It depends on how I'm feeling. So anyways, what is the energy for the final week of August and the end of eclipse season? Page of Pentacles flew out, but I'm going to keep... Okay, so did these. Page of Pentacles has to do with what are we learning or what have we learned. And I think we're learning what feels good and what doesn't feel good. That's the biggest thing that I feel like we're learning. What feels good and what doesn't feel good this week with this lunar eclipse. Because we want things that feel good. You know, we don't want, look, the Fools at the bottom. Yeah, this is giving us an opportunity to move in a new path with the understanding of what feels good and what we want and need and what we believe that we can have. Pisces is about faith. And so it's showing us like, you know what? I still have faith in this thing. I still have faith that this can work. I still have faith in myself. I still have faith in my dream. I still have faith in this relationship. I still have faith in my goals. Whatever it is, this is about you really seeing, I still have faith and I'm going to continue forward with that knowing of that's what feels good, soothing, healing to my soul. With the Fool here, we take a leap, right? We don't know exactly where it's going to take us, but this is showing us I still want to go this way, or I'm going to take a leap of faith on this direction. You know, it just depends on how this applies specifically to what's going on in your life. But ultimately, it's about us taking a leap of faith and saying, you know what, I'm not exactly sure where this is leading, but it's shown me over the last 2 years that this is the direction that feels good to me. And I'm going to go in that direction. And then on top, the Four of Swords, very healing energy. She is chilling. So this isn't a very active week. But it's a very internally aware and like coming to some type of conclusion within. This is very soul searching. This is very contemplative energy. So once again, Mercury, right? It's the mind. These are swords. So we're in our minds making very analytical assessments based off of how we want to feel and what feels good. And then that's the action that we're taking ultimately as we move forward with the Fool. That's the way I want to go. As I sit on my hammock, which I did this last night. I love sitting on my hammock. This is what I want. This is what makes me feel good. And it's an internal conversation, right? With yourself so that you can feel more stable mentally about what you need or where you are. So when you interact with others, you can come from that space, right? This is what I know. this is what feels good for me. This is what I realize I want or don't want. And that's how I'm going to kind of approach the situation, because that's all we really can do is focus on ourselves. So hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your August. And like I said, happy Virgo season, 831. Ooh. Okay, bye.